What's good, fam? This is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town, holding it down. Peace, one love, one unity, one spirit. My hotel, tough love. I'm coming back to you with a royal rant, because there's been one hell of a motherfucking week, month, goddamn beginning of the year. Shit. How y'all doing? It's good to see the fam. Had me a few little computer problems, so now we got the royal digital shit back up online and everything. So now we back on the dial with the queen. Hot damn, I missed y'all. So I had to clown a little bit, but yeah, I came back to you smoothing it out a little bit with this one. Because, along the journey that we have of what we call life, living, experiencing, traveling through this dimension, I have learned a lot in a very short time, just observing, being still, being quiet, listening, watching, and absorbing, meditating. That's another form of reception. And in that, I have had an affirmation, a confirmation, and a new mantra. Don't let people lie to you. And that's your hell, not mine. You feel me, fam? This might be a little deep. So y'all hold on to your hat, because we gonna go on a ride here. Don't let people lie to you. And that's your hell, not mine. Now, I'm dealing with certain people, beings, energies. I've discovered that, there's no real physical hell or heaven. We know that. Those of us who took the red pill and not the blue, we know that ain't no heaven in the sky with pearly gates, and we know it ain't no fiery gates of hell with a nigga down there with a pitchfork. But we can build our own hell, and we can also drag other motherfuckers into that hell with us, unbeknownst to either one. So, I'm going to start off with that one. That's your hell, not mine. People, we all have our measure of dysfunction. And that just comes along with the territory. Through living life, being bumped and bruised and battered along the way, we allow certain shit to happen to us. Sometimes we don't even ask for it. It is imposed upon us against our will. And we don't know that it is abuse, which causes dysfunctional behaviors. So, in establishing that, sometimes we let our mind go to a dark place in which we cannot emerge from in a efficient, productive, proactive fashion. And then there's others that cross our paths for different reasons, to teach us a lesson, to be a lesson, and to teach us how to fucking let go, catch and release. I don't know if that makes sense. Walk with me, hold my hand, because we finna go now. We finna take off. The hell that we build for ourselves within that dark place, sometimes we tend to pull and tug and sometimes snatch and drag, kicking and screaming, other people who we hold dear, other people who we don't know, unbeknownst to them. We are living in our own metaphysical, spiritual hell due to our past experiences. And we also must teach and reteach and reprogram our mind not to let another motherfucker drag us to their hell. That's their hell, not yours. I don't know if that makes sense. So, we must keep in mind that the hell we built for ourselves is ours to contend with, confront, face, accept, and release. People have all kind of baggage, all kind of issues, all kind of quirks. Some of them we can compromise, we can deal with. Some of them motherfuckers need straight shrinking. I mean, like a wool sweater. Wet that bitch with cold water, throw it in the dryer, and shrink it down to size. And compartmentalize that shit. And we can find ourselves getting so caught up in consoling, reestablishing, and reinforcing others who are dealing with their own issues, till we lose ourselves in that hell of another person. It happens in all different combinations of relationships. And that's dysfunctional. To allow someone to drag you into their hell when you trying to deal with your own, as well as you may have cubs, you may not. You may have a spouse, you may not. You may have a partner, you may not. However, you have your own realm, your own aura, your own cipher to manage and to delegate and to appreciate and to nurture. And when you have to reach out, those of us healers know that, light workers and so forth, we deal with this on a regular basis. And a little bit heavier and deeper than most just on a normal path who don't use or have a certain gift of healing and metaphysical gifts. So, to allow someone to drag you into their hell, you have to be very careful to make sure that you can compartmentalize and identify the border, the boundary, that one place in which you do not cross over. There's no gray area. You have to draw a firm line and hold a firm boundary to how you allow or disallow someone to drag you into their hell. Waste your time, you look up, before you know it, your life is wasted on trying to build another motherfucker up to the frequency in which you are. Yet, the flip side of it is true. You have relinquished your frequency down to that of that one individual or individuals who have dragged you into their hell. Living hell. You don't have to cross over to be in hell. Hell is what you make it right here in this realm, on this plane, in this dimension. You can be living in a hell. And it could be the hell that you built for yourself. Because those of us who understand energy and karma and reciprocity, what you put out is what you get back. That's a guarantee. So, you can put out a lot of negative, evil, dark, sadistic, masochistic type of energy. And all your fears and all your insecurities and all your downfalls and all your self-inflicted failures create a hell in which you live in regularly, from day to day, moment to moment. So those of us who recognize and are purging and releasing and cleansing these things that are no longer of use to us, which in turn once was a form of a hell, we must recognize those who have not quite identified what type of hell they have placed themselves in, and not allow those energies to suck you into that vortex black hole of somebody else's hell. You deal with it and you say, that's your hell, not mine. Because what we fear, recreate. And what we create, we must be held accountable for, which is karma. So, moving on down the line to the lie. And many of us who are living in our own hell are in a deluded state. We have been programmed and convinced that this is healthy, this is normal, this is routine, this is something that we should accept. But we are come out of the womb being programmed with abuse balancing out to love, and accept abuse as love. And it's very subtle. And then there's a spectrum that grows up to blatant, bold, and obvious abuse. And you can't let people lie to you with this thing that we call love intertwined with abuse. Because some people say, you know what? I do it because I love you. It might hurt me more than it hurt you. That's not love. That's some selfish, dysfunctional shit. And I know we all have heard it down the line somewhere, shape, or form. Now, we do have tough love, where we don't coddle, pet, pamper, or enable. That's the greatest form of love you can give someone, is tough, unadulterated honesty. Without facetiousness, coyness, or ugliness. You can be honest. You don't have to be mean. You can be direct. You don't have to be evil. You can be firm and not facetious. But you can't let people lie to you. Because you see, to them, it sounds true, but to you, it don't feel true. And love is more than just a word. It's an action. It's an adverb sometimes. Sometimes it's an adjective. It comes in all forms, like water. It's fluid. It really has no specific category. Water can be channeled, but it cannot be specifically controlled. Even in the channeling of water, it creates damage, and it erodes away what is channeling it. Water is the most powerful energy, element, substance that we know of on this planet. So you can't let motherfuckers lie to you. Yeah? That may sound true to you, but it don't feel true to me. I got to feel what you're saying. I got to feel what you feel. I got to be convinced that you're trying to convince me. Does that make sense? So to review, that's your hell, not mine. You're not going to drag me to your hell. I didn't build it. I didn't create it. I'm not the one who can fix it, change it, alter it, or diminish it in any way, shape, or form. That's your hell, not mine. You let me deal with my hell in my time. And if there's time left over, then I can help you deal with yours. Because you're not nobody's savior. You don't owe anyone anything that they have not offered you initially. We have to give ourselves permission to have a healthy selfishness about that. A healthy selfishness. Not a narcissistic selfishness. Not a bitch ass, coward ass, running away type selfishness. I don't want to deal with it type shit. You got to have a healthy selfishness and give yourself permission to do so. I don't care who it is. It could be your children, your mama, your daddy, your spouse. It does not matter. We have to have a healthy selfishness, personal identification time that we nurture ourselves and refill our own cup. Because if you don't like spending time with you, then nobody else will want to like spending time with you either. That's how a healthy selfishness. We have to learn how to nurture and regroup so that we can come back out again productive, fresh, and proactive with resolutions and solutions, not complaints, gripes, and negativity. I don't know if that makes sense. Hope y'all still holding my hand. We walking now. We getting it on. So, you can't let someone drag you to their hell. Hell is what you make it. Hell is how you build it. Whatever you fear, you create. And that comes back to haunt you. It comes back to delay you. It comes back to prohibit you from emerging and evolving into your true self, onto your true path. Just like the sunrise. You can see it above the horizon, but once it gets to full high noon, you see her in all her glory, protection, and honor. So, in that, you also have to not allow people to lie to you and tell you, you know what? Charge it to my head and not my heart. I really didn't mean it. That may sound true to you, but it don't feel true to me. It don't even sound like the fuck you believe that shit. Because once you say, I forgive you, that gives them permission to forego, overlook, and bypass the shit so they can goddamn do it again. See how that word trick you? Please forgive me. No. That's some unforgivable shit. Because I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels when it happens, and when that energy releases from you to me, that shit makes me uncomfortable. Now you want me to make you more comfortable to say, I forgive you. I don't know if that makes sense. Did anybody there? We got to flip that hourglass back right upside the way. The right way. Don't let people lie to you. Oh, girl, no. I'm not trying to get up in your personal and everything, but yes, you are. That may sound true to you, but it's goddamn feel true to me. Now, if you wasn't trying to get in my shit, you wouldn't be saying I'm not. Because, you know, usually when people tell you what they're not doing is really what the fuck are doing. Don't let people lie to you. It always is what they say it ain't. Stop letting people drag you to their hell. Stop taking on people's shit and guilt and baggage and hot ass black fire. That's not yours. Just because they feel entitled to do that because of the emotional contract you have with them. That's dysfunction. Now you got two separate ciphers to decipher and decode. And they relying on you. And you relying on you. So, stop letting people drag you to hell. Give yourself a healthy, selfish time to regroup, re-energize, meditate, listen, observe, and reflect. Because there's a lesson in everything we go through and endure. There's a reason for everything to happen to us, especially the pain. Number one, pain is to tell us and show us that we are alive with a soul, with feelings, and a mechanism of empathy. And all empathy is that you can place yourself in a situation and understand, overstand, and understand what that other being is experiencing. Some of us ain't motherfucking human. So we don't have the mechanism of empathy because it was not programmed and introduced into our psyche, ego, and super ego. So empathy is like a motherfucking anomaly. It just one off. It just don't register with some of us. And some of us get so goddamn selfish, they feel that the empathy should go one way, they way. Fuck you. How you feel, what the fuck you going through, when you going through it, how you going through it. You don't want to go through that shit no more. You done surpassed and grown from it. Yet, they still feel because they can't let go. They want to drag you back to hell with them. Because what? Misery loves company. But I don't want to keep nobody company in hell. I don't know about y'all. And don't let people lie to you because they deluded. Oh, well, I'm good. But they got fucking fireworks and hand grenades and landmines going off all around them in their life. And they say, I'm cool with it. It's fine. You know, I'm used to it now. You know, we'll be alright. That may sound true to you, but you're deluded. This shit is not normal. And we have become desensitized to dysfunction and shit that just is not right. It's just some universal balance and way and balance that just not right. But because we have been programmed to accept this type of subtle abuse and neglect, we overlook it as normal. And we pass it off as that's just the way things are. No, it's not. So, we must begin to confront, accept, and acknowledge this dysfunction in order for us to heal the self, to be able to heal the nation, and move forward with communication instead of combativeness and competition. And we need to study language, words, and the power and energy behind certain words we use and what they mean and where they're derived from to understand how we programming to fuck each other, to abuse each other, have divisiveness, spite, vengefulness, and evil intent towards one another. It starts in the language. Some language is quiet, silent language. Some is verbal. Some is mental. Some is emotional. But you can't let motherfuckers lie to you. We need to cut this dysfunction off and begin to reinstall, reprogram, and unspell the bullshit that we've been programmed to believe is healthy, normal, and acceptable. Because clearly it ain't worked in all this time. And until we reach the point in which we can be in tune with ourselves and understand and trust and listen to self, there's no way we can trust another. So you got to learn how to stay away from motherfuckers who will drag you into their hell that they built for themselves. Live in hell. Living motherfucking hell. Pull it down. Push it in. Back to center. And say stop. We've been over this a couple of times. We got the tools and the instruments and the information and the data we need. We done deconstructed this problem. We've identified it, discussed it, and we come up with a plethora of solution and resolution to it. Now, why are we not applying the tools that we need to apply to this problem to solve it? You're not finna drag me. That's your hell, not mine. So, I can go on with this, but this sermon got to end here. I done did 25 minutes. So, this is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town, holding it down, signing out for now. Peace, fam. One love, one unity.